Good day, folks. Today we're going to be reviewing the 2017 KTM 390 Duke. In my opinion, this bike is a peach of a motorcycle. By far one of the favorite bikes I've ever test driven, and no surprise, the reason why I bought this bike. So some quick specs: the Duke 390 comes with a 373.7 single-cylinder dual overhead cam engine, registered as 400cc here in the Philippines. Of course, it makes around 47 horsepower and 37 Nm torque. This bike is particularly fast, reaching 0 to 100 in less than 5 seconds. Creature comforts include front and rear ABS, 3 ABS modes I consider off as a mode, so that's off, standard for road, meaning both front and rear ABS is activated, and Supermoto, which means you can switch off the rear ABS to do some skids and back it in like Zach Kortz. Or should I say Adam Wahid, who is the current host of Motorcyclist Online MC Commute. The bike has an absolutely stellar TFT gauge with full color, displaying an abundance of information, everything from the time to date to important sensors and coolant temperatures and even your voltage. As you can see here, the radiator fan is really loud to the point that it could get irritating because it hardly ever switches off in the traffic. As you can see here, Expressway access is absolutely no issue. I get in and out of the Expressway without the enforcers even batting an eye. Some of them even giving me looks of approval. Of course, another thing to note is that the Duke 390 is on the quieter side of things, especially when you keep the exhaust stuck. That means people will hardly hear you, especially when you're riding on the expressways. Luckily, I've changed the exhaust on my bike to a Remus S-Flow slip-on, which makes it just loud enough for others to hear me, because I want to be as visible and as audible as possible while riding on the expressways. Another thing that can get a bit uncomfortable would be the heat emanating from this little thumper. This bike gets really hot, especially when sitting for long periods of time in traffic, so much so that sometimes I switch the engine off when stuck in a gridlock. I would consider fuel consumption on this bike to be above average. I average around 24-25 kilometers per liter, riding this bike hard without any fuel savings in mind.
300 Blaze.
A full tank of gas takes me around 175 to 200 kilometers if I'm lucky. So yeah, if you plan on taking this bike on long trips or for touring, expect a lot of fuel stops along the way. I wouldn't consider the bike to be particularly vibey, considering the fact that it's a single-cylinder engine. It's probably even smoother than other thumpers out there, definitely smoother than the Enfield singles. Maybe around, you can consider it to be as smooth as some parallel twin-engine bikes out there. Now the handling department is definitely where this bike shines the brightest. Rightfully so, it only weighs 325 pounds with a full tank of gas. It's very nimble, agile, and feels extremely light on its feet, yet sure-footed at the same time. The throttle-by-wire system on the 390 Duke is also particularly good, in a sense that it lets you modulate the throttle, maybe even better than other bikes that still use the cable-actuated throttles. As you can see, low-speed maneuvers, U-turns, figure eights in the 390 Duke are absolute peanuts, effortless, and very easy to do with just a bit of practice. As I mentioned, the bike carries its weight exceptionally well. I might even go as far as saying it carries its weight better than the Duke 200 in terms of low-speed maneuvers and overall stability. KTM really upped their game with this new chassis design. Overall, I think the KTM 390 Duke presents impeccable value for money with discerning taste in terms of style and overall performance. This motorcycle is undoubtedly a head turner. I get looks from people all over the street when I ride this bike. So I could say that it definitely has the big bike vibe, and I'd like to say the respect that comes with riding a proper big bike. At present, the KTM 390 Duke retails for 289,000 pesos. Again, great value, especially now with the thriving mid to big sized motorcycle market in the Philippines.
Won't you hold me all night?
So there you have it, guys. I hope you learned a thing or two from my comprehensive review of the 2017 KTM 390 Duke. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.